Hello guys and welcome to another video. Unfortunately for today I have nothing new to show you, but I would like to go through some details about one of my upgrades, because I got a request about how the conversion of the Spring Geometry upgrade for Axis works. So I would like to show you this today. If you're considering to order a Spring Geometry upgrade for Axis, the cool thing is it works with all generation Axis pedals, no matter if it's a long board, a short board, a black one, a silver one, 20 years old or just 1 year old. The upgrade replaces the part that connects over here, and these dimensions have never changed, so they are always the same, and there's no way this upgrade cannot be mounted. All you need beside the upgrade is one of the Imperial Allen keys that comes with the Axis pedal, that allows the adjustment of the footboard and beta angle. Or if you have a newer generation, this adjustment already works with a regular drum key, because it uses the tension rod over here. This one is very old, we still need this Allen key. And I think, yeah, let's go. To make access a little easier, I highly recommend to just remove the screw at the bottom or make it pretty loose. Then it's easier to remove this top block. Next step, take the Allen key, loosen both screws that usually hold this part in place. And then you can remove the block, the swiveling block and the spring entirely. If you get your Spring Geometry upgrade, it comes with the top part, with the swiveling part, with the ball bearing and a regular Darwin spring. There's always the option to go for the heavy one, but usually it isn't necessary. If you want to go for a heavy one, just shoot me an email or let me know that you like to have it with the heavy one. That being said, the installation of the upgrade works exactly the other way around. First, take the upgrade and just push it over the shaft. In the next step, just get the spring hooked up again. And then you're already good to go to adjust your beta and footboard angle by tightening the tension rod. So this upgrade from stock comes with a tension rod and can be adjusted with a drum key. And then you're already good to go. I highly recommend to go through all different steps in this upgrade. If you don't know exactly what this upgrade does, I'd highly recommend to take a look at the very first video I made about this upgrade, where I go a little deeper into the technical aspect of this geometry stuff thingy. The position where it is now is exactly the position where the stock Axis swiveling part is. I'd highly recommend, as I said, to go through all the different steps. There are two ways to do it, I figured out. The easier one is to always remove the spring at the lower point, so untighten the pedal completely or make it very, very loose. Then it's easier to have access to the screw, which can be loosened by a 2.5mm Allen key that comes with the kit. Just remove the screw. It's not necessary to tighten the screw super hard, because due to the ball bearing everything stays in place. I try to put a few replacement washers to every kit, but make sure you don't lose this washer that often. And then once the screw is removed, just take everything, the screw, the swiveling point and the washer, and hook it up to the next position, to the middle one for example. That's the middle one. Tighten it, make sure that everything runs nice and smoothly, and then you're once again good to go. Hook up the spring and that's it. Of course, one little bummer is that when you go through some different distances over here, of course the general tension of the spring changes as well. But trust me, it's always necessary to play a little bit and adapt the spring tension as well if you have another different distance over here, because the entire feeling of the pedal changes dramatically, and it's just not possible to have the different distances and geometries over here with always the same spring tension, because the pedal just reacts absolutely different. One more thing, if you want to use this upgrade on a double pedal, there are two ways to have the spring geometry for the slave pedal mounted. Either you take the entire block and move it to the slave side to have the spring tension for the slave pedal also on the slave pedal, or it is mounted on this extension part here, so the slave pedal is, or the spring for the slave pedal is somewhere here. I'd highly recommend to move this entire block to the slave side. It just takes 2 minutes, because the access to this screw is way easier. If both spring geometry upgrades are side by side with just a few centimeters in between, you always need to tilt or to swivel the beater a little bit to get access to this screw, because otherwise the other screw and the other spring would get in the way. But it works both ways, so whatever is easier for you, you're good to go, and it does a nice job. That being said, I think that's it for this week's video, or this little upgrade. If you have any questions about it or any other upgrade, any idea, feel free to write me an email. If you want to know a little bit more what's going on behind the curtains, feel free to join the ACD community list. It is my some sort of weekly newsletter where I just show you some more upgrades, prototypes, and some more details about ideas. A link to sign in with your email is on the very first page of my homepage. A link to that should be in the description. Until then, have a nice day and see you soon. Cheers!